back to the channel. We got Dom Picks, this time Wildcard edition. Let's start off with the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams. I'm taking the Rams, and that's mainly because Devontae Adams should make his return to the field. He was third when it came to targets in the red zone, which led to a league-leading 11 touchdowns. Getting him back into the fold should allow the Rams offense to regain their momentum. Elsewhere with the offensive unit, I'm expecting Sean McVay to emphasize the run game. When we're able to run the football with Kyren Williams and Blake Corum at that makes this offensive unit much tougher to slow down. And looking at Carolina, this would be considered a successful year for them, win or lose here. They came into this year with some questions at quarterback. I believe for the most part, Bryce Young has answered some, if not all, the questions. But this team still has some holes. Defensively, they don't do a great job of getting after the quarterback. They are in the bottom 10 when it comes to sacks on the year. And when I look at the offensive end, the Panthers don't do a good job of protecting the football. They had the 11th most turnovers. That being said, the Rams are not an unbeatable team. Special team-wise, they are not great. They still have some questions there. And what's been a common theme in a lot of their losses is the fact that they beat themselves, whether it be with turnovers from the offensive unit or whether it be costly mistakes from that special teams unit. And defensively, despite being a pretty formidable unit, you can move the ball against them. And if they're not able to get takeaways, they're going to give up points. The Panthers can definitely take advantage of those weaknesses. However, I believe the Rams are going to be fine because Sean McVay should have these guys ready to go, considering the fact the Panthers upset them at home in a similar position not too long ago. Next up, we have a classic rivalry between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. I can see a world in which the Packers pull off what many can consider an upset. A lot of the momentum is not on their side and primarily in the corner of the Chicago Bears, but you have a guy there in the name of Jordan Love. A couple of postseason runs ago, Jordan Love was massive for the Green Bay Packers. Let's not forget when he mollywalked the Dallas Cowboys on the road, and he put the San Francisco 49ers, a team that year that went to the Super Bowl, on the ropes as well. Coming into this matchup, he should be well rested. So I'm expecting to see the best version of Jordan Love. On the other side with the Chicago Bears, I'm concerned about them because for a lot of players, this is their first playoff game. And I believe that inexperience can be costly. Caleb Williams and the offense have to set the tone. If you're picking the Green Bay Packers to win this game, I wouldn't be mad at you. But ultimately, I'm taking the Chicago Bears. Offensively, they have the talent to take advantage of a declining Green Bay Packers defense. Your key receivers, DJ Moore and Rome Odunze, should be available in this one. And I look at Ben Johnson, someone who has playoff experience as an OC. The knock on his play calling was the fact that he got away from the run game too soon. I believe in this one, he's going to remain confident and Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift. And then on the defensive side for the Bears, they're getting some key reinforcements, especially in the secondary. Hopefully, CJ Gardner-Johnson is available because his playoff experience will help carry that defense along with Grady Jarrett. And then looking at it from a Green Bay perspective, I don't think Jordan Love is going to be awful. I actually think he's going to play great football to put them in a position to win this game. But it really comes down to that defense not having a consistent pass rush. For some reason, my power just cut out. But getting back to my argument against the Green Bay Packers, this pass rush has not been the same since Micah Parsons went down. Since the injury, they have only 3 sacks, and that includes a 0-sack performance against the Chicago Bears. And looking at the Packers' run defense, they're not as strong as they were to start the year. That can be attributed to the injuries to the defensive tackles. I suspect that will continue to be a problem going into this game against the Bears. Next up, we have what is potentially the game of the week between the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Josh Allen is the best remaining quarterback, although I want to come on here and say he has to take advantage of a no Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes, no Joe Burrow playoff run. It's going to be difficult for the Bills to come out of the AFC. Their defense is not great, especially in the run game. And then on the offensive side, Allen doesn't have the wide receiver play that puts the Bills over the top like in years prior. The keys to victory for the Buffalo Bills are making sure they run the football and control the clock. One area the Bills have been excellent in throughout the course of the year is running the football, whether it be with James Cook or whether it be Josh Allen utilizing those legs. Going against the Jacksonville Jaguars offense, potentially the hottest offensive unit right now entering the playoffs, is going to be key to help their defense stay off the field. Jacksonville has not played a mobile quarterback like Josh Allen so far this year. I think that can present a challenge for that defensive unit potentially. During the course of this game, that will be something to monitor, as it may be a key X factor in determining which team moves on to the next round. Looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars, they are the AFC dark horse. Trevor Lawrence right now looks and is playing like the number one overall pick. Combine that with a Jags defense that has been stellar throughout the year, number one in terms of rushing yards allowed per game, plus they have the second most takeaways on the year as well. This was a difficult game to choose. More than likely, it's going to come down to whichever team has the ball last. I'm going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars. Travis Etienne is no slouch. He's a 1,000-yard rusher on the year, and he's capable of not only making an impact on the ground, but as a pass catcher out of the backfield. If the Bills defense continues to struggle to slow down the run game, Trevor Lawrence is a mobile quarterback as well. Him utilizing his legs to extend plays or make plays on his own can definitely cause trouble for the Bills defense. I believe Josh Allen is going to have his say-so, but I'm concerned about the outside weapons for Josh Allen. Jacksonville has a stingy run defense. I don't believe it will shut Buffalo's run game down completely, but they will at least slow them down. And if that is the case, they're going to need some receivers to step up and make plays. And I'm not sure if it's going to be there consistently throughout the game. Eagles and 49ers. I'm taking Philadelphia. San Fran is banged up, and they don't have the talent to overcome all those injuries. The Niners don't do a great job of rushing the quarterback. They have the least amount of sacks on the year, nor do they force a ton of takeaways. They're near the bottom as well in that department. And they're down two of their signal callers. And despite Robert Saleh being an excellent coach, I think is going to be asking a lot out of these guys to play their best ball. If the run game is able to show any signs of life and Saquon is able to find the rushing lanes, it's going to be a lot to overcome for the Niners defense. And as I previously mentioned in my last video, if the Niners offense doesn't have a great game, it will be difficult for them to win. The Eagles possess a top 5 defensive unit, and I believe that will be another key reason for why they're able to win this game. It's going to be difficult for the San Francisco 49ers, who are also dealing with injuries as well on the offensive side of the ball. Trent Williams may be inactive. If that's the case, you're losing your best offensive lineman, being without Ricky Pearsall as well, potentially. You're losing a weapon on the outside, and that's going to be a lot to overcome, despite having the talent in C-Mac and George Kittle. Brock Purdy, through all the criticism, he has his work cut out for him, as this will be no easy task if he goes on to win this game. On to the Sunday night game, we have the LA Chargers and the New England Patriots. The biggest storyline for me is whether or not Justin Herbert can win his first playoff game. In his first 2 starts, he has not been great. First game, they blow a double-digit lead on the road against Jacksonville. And last year, they got mollywopped on the road against the Texans, a game in which Herbert had 4 interceptions. There's no denying the talent in Jay Herbo, but at some point, he has to win in the postseason. And if he loses to Drake May, who's playing in his first playoff game, that will only intensify the pressure further. And switching gears, entering the postseason, are the New England Patriots back? They have good, may I say, elite quarterback play, along with a great head coach and complementary pieces across both sides of the field. My only concern coming into this game is their youth and inexperience. Yes, you have a few guys who have been on deep postseason runs. In the case of Josh McDaniels, he's won Super Bowls as an OC in New England. It will come down to whether or not the young players are able to perform in the bright lights, but they have a lot of things going for them. The defense is fantastic. They have an explosive run game, and they have some talented young wide receivers led by Stephon Diggs. I've gone back and forth on this game, but I'm going to take an upset. Give me the Los Angeles Chargers to win on the road in Foxborough. Although the Patriots have a good defense, their pass rush isn't great. They're near the bottom of the league when it comes to sacks on the year. If the Chargers offensive line can just hang on and give Justin Herbert enough time, this Chargers offense have the pieces to make this a close game. And on the defensive side for LA, let's not act like they aren't a talented defensive unit as well. They can get after your quarterback, which has actually been a problem for the New England Patriots. They are a veteran-led unit, and I believe they can have an impact on this game and Drake May. And if the Chargers can keep this game close, how will the young Patriot players respond? And to wrap up wildcard Dom picks, we have the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking Houston to win this game. I don't believe that Pittsburgh offense is going to have the answers to counter the Houston Texans defense. Despite Aaron Rodgers having a solid year, they don't do a great job of running the football, nor do they have an explosive enough passing game. DK Metcalf gives them another weapon. I believe they should be able to have a little more success, especially if they still rely on the two running back set. But this Texas defense is just stout. The Steelers defense against the Texans offense, the Steelers may have the advantage there. However, they do have a weakness when it comes to the secondary. We've seen a lot of times throughout the year, they've had some blown coverages, and you can't do that when you're playing against the Texans offense because they like those deep ball home run plays. And if you give up a long touchdown to a Nico Collins or Jaden Higgins or Xavier Hutchinson, that's a GG's. And I don't think your offense is going to be able to keep up if you keep allowing explosive plays on the other side. That's going to do it for me. Don't forget to hit the like button. Comment down below your predictions for Wildcard Weekend. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one.